You're listening to WNHU West Haven, Connecticut's #1 college radio station.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host. And sitting here with me this afternoon is Chris Morgan from Valley Shore Community Television. Chris, welcome. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Pete?
Good, thanks. Good. I was wondering if you can maybe tell us a little bit about Valley Shore Community Television.
Well, Valley Shore Community Television is we're a regional public access station.
Okay.
Now, public access television is cable access. Anybody that wants to produce their own TV show can come in. We'll teach you how to use our equipment, and you can request an airtime and help you produce your very own program, just like yours.
Okay.
And well, Valley Shore Community Television is about a year and a half old.
Mm-hmm.
We started in the summer of 2013 as a nonprofit in Westbrook, Connecticut, and we serve 9 towns. We're a regional public access station. So we serve basically the lower Connecticut River Valley on the Middlesex County side, so the west side of the river, from Durham, Haddam, Killingworth, Clinton, Chester, Deep River, Essex, Westbrook, and Old Saybrook.
Okay. And
so anybody in those towns are welcome to use our facility.
There you go. And where are the facilities located?
Our studio is located our address is 1587 Boston Post Road in Westbrook. We're at the Shops at Water's Edge.
Okay.
And if those of you are familiar with the Water's Edge Resort.
Definitely. Now, one question I haven't asked yet. Who is Chris Morgan and what title does he have for VSCTV?
Well, my official title is the Public Access Coordinator.
Okay.
But my job description, I guess, ranges from everything as far as working with volunteers, training volunteers, managing equipment, programming the station. So I wear a lot of hats, but the official title is Public Access Coordinator.
You like it?
I love it so far.
Yeah.
How I got involved with it was Chuck Lewis, our executive director, was my teacher in high school.
Okay.
And I graduated in class of 09 from Haddam Killingworth up in Higginham. And HK has, well, I gotta do a plug for them. They have one of the best TV programs in the state, in my opinion. And for high schools, I mean, they run the educational access station in our region that covers the same footprint we do.
All right.
So the students there have the opportunity to take classes from basic studio production to field production, movie making, journalism. So that's where I really sparked my interest in TV production. So that's how I got to know Chuck. Everything from they do their live telethon in December. That's been going on for 25 years now, since the late 80s, and that got me interested in TV production way back when at a young age, and Comcast ran the public access in this region for a long, long time. I'm not sure exactly when I assume when they started providing cable to that region is when they had to provide public access. I don't know the exact year. Before I was born, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Okay.
And I'm 23, so it's been quite many years. And it was underutilized in some fashion, so they were going to merge it with Old Lyme. Right. Or there were talks to merge it with Old Lyme. So Chuck Lewis and a few other folks on our cable advisory committee, Ken Butterworth and a few other folks on our board now, created VSCTV as a nonprofit to keep public access local. So the towns that it serves, it would be in the footprint of the towns that we provide it for.
Now, as far as being able to watch different programming on Valley Shore Community Television, can you watch on the dial or can you watch on the website?
You can watch both.
Okay.
Our signal goes out to basically 3 different distributions. Comcast Clinton franchise on Channel 19. Our educational is Channel 18. That's the Valley Shore Educational Network, which is the schools in our region provide content for that.
All right.
Like I said, the head end of that one is housed at HK High School, but Valley Regional produces a lot of content for that. Okay. We've had stuff from the other schools that it does serve is Coggins, Morgan High School, Westbrook High School, and Old Saybrook High School, and any other educational institutions in our footprint. Okay. There's a couple of private schools, too, that utilize it from time to time. But that's the educational side.
Now, why is public access so important in your opinion?
Well, public access, when it was started, was created to provide a free speech forum.
Okay.
It was basically, it was created for people to be able to voice their opinions on topics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the 1970s when cable was first brought to mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
there was really only the three major networks. I mean, you had ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Correct.
So access to television was really only for folks with either a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
or was business related. It really wasn't something that anybody could access easily.
Right.
So the FCC decided that it would be in the best interest to create public access.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if you've heard the acronym PEG access,
Yeah.
which is public educational and government access. So for anybody to be able to come in and produce their own show.
Okay.
And it's open to nonprofits and individuals,
Okay. Now,
no
as
businesses.
that's okay. As far as the station goes, as far as the variety of programming, what type? If you're to watch the station, what types of varieties of programming can you see?
Well, we've got all kinds of neat stuff, in my opinion. It really provides a great variety.
Okay.
Everything from educational content.
Mm-hmm.
There's a show that's produced outside of our footprint, but that's aired on our station called Expedition New England.
Sure.
That has a lot of educational value to it. I think it's produced in Madison by Scott Tucker.
Yeah.
Your show is Public Affairs, the Pete Mezzetti Show,
There you go.
which is produced at our station, which folks on WNHU have heard a lot of,
That's right.
as we simulcast here.
Exactly.
Shoreline Music Monthly, produced by Mark Koschwitz.
Yeah.
Who may be listening. He works down the street, actually.
Oh, does he?
I don't know if he listens every day during his lunch hour. He might.
There you go.
His show has really been a form for the arts to perform, or for a lot of local artists to perform their music
Mm-hmm.
on public access,
Okay.
and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To see. I like the arts, and music especially. Live performance is always fun. Concerts. We've done basketball games. Our student crews. We've done the last couple of years. I believe we did half a dozen basketball games, most
Wow.
of which live.
Okay.
From the schools, Valley Regional, HK, and Westbrook.
Sure.
So we'll go in there and we actually got a grant in the summer of 2013 from PEGpedia, which is from Public Utilities Regulatory Authority,
Right.
which is intended for providing, working capital or be able to fund equipment purchases
Yes.
and improvements for public access stations and educational institutions for media.
Sure.
So that allowed us to revamp the studio and build it to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not using equipment that's 15 years old,
Exactly.
which, some people may associate with public access to begin with.
Right.
But we try to make it, as high tech as we can. Funds are limited when you're working with nonprofits and public access, but
Mm-hmm.
we make the best of what we have, and I think we did a really good job with constructing the studio we did in Westbrook.
Right.
With the funds we had available, and we have a mobile switcher, which is we're able to take to gymnasiums and concerts and auditoriums that we can produce a show live in the field
Very nice.
and be able to send it back pretty much live. It would be a couple minute delay on it, but so the viewers can watch something live. We did a debate with that,
Mm-hmm.
some basketball games, a couple concerts,
Okay.
things like that.
There you go. Now, as far as you said, you got the organization's run by a nonprofit, so obviously there's a board of directors.
We do have a board of directors.
Okay.
Um,
Pretty large, pretty medium, pretty good size.
I would say it's pretty small.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. This is the first nonprofit that I've been a part of where I've met every board of director.
Okay.
Before I worked at VSCTV, I worked at Connecticut Network, Connecticut Public Affairs Network in
Mhm.
Hartford.
Sure.
But I didn't know personally all the board members, so I don't know what the size of theirs is.
Right.
They do have a great board too. I've met a few of them. They're very, very nice. Our board of directors, I believe we have 5.
All right.
Let me count for a second. Yeah, we have five members on our board.
Okay.
The chairman is Ken Butterworth.
Yep. Sure.
Who is he's Westbrook resident on the Cable Advisory Committee for our region.
Correct.
And our board is involved as much as they can be. I mean, They're always eager to help out when we need them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to thank them for all they've done for us.
Yeah, definitely. Please.
They've done a great job.
They did, and just in case our viewers and our listeners are not aware, that the studios down in Westbrook are absolutely beautiful. They're state of the art.
As much as we could.
Exactly.
Yep. We are one of the things that we tried to do. I mean, in today's day and age, you flip on the TV and you expect high definition, right?
Right.
Well, public access, I don't know of any public access in our state that is high def yet.
No.
That broadcasts HD.
Correct.
But in today's day and age, you really can't buy too much equipment that's standard def anymore.
No.
It's all HD ready and HD compatible. So we designed the studio to be HD ready should the time come that Comcast, AT&T, well, actually Frontier, we're on Uverse, and our website make the switch to HD. And actually, our website's the only one that actually could handle it with a flip of a switch.
Really?
But we have to move some other equipment around in the control room to do it.
Wow.
But for the most part, with very little change, our studio would be HD ready should the time come.
Wow. And we also have to mention this afternoon, and you mentioned it a couple minutes ago, we are simulcasting today.
We're recording it.
Right.
We're recording the show that we can, if the recording comes out, we'll play it back on Channel 19.
Exactly.
But in your time slot, Tuesdays at 7.
I was going to say Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And as far as if people want to get involved with public access, how easy is it?
Well, it's very easy to become involved. Folks that are interested can either stop by and visit our studio in Westbrook, right on Route 1. You can send me an email at ValleyShoreTV19. That's ValleyShoreTV19 at gmail.com.
Sure.
Or give us a call. It's 860-399. It's one digit off from our address, 399-1857. I'm just going to check my business card to double check that. Yeah, 3. Well, our address on Route 1 is 1587.
Yep.
And our phone number is 1857.
Ah,
so I always mix the two up.
Oh, boy.
So our phone number is 860-399-1857.
And obviously, you guys do training classes for.
They're gonna laugh at me when they see this.
That's okay.
The phone number.
There you go.
It's only one digit off.
That's okay. As I was saying, you guys also do training classes. How detailed are they? Are they pretty quick to pick up on, or are they pretty complex? Or
it depends who you ask. I tend to think they're not terribly complex.
Okay.
Especially the studio. We break training down into 3 different sections. We do one for studio production, so folks like yourself that really aren't doing much in the field, you're just producing a show in the studio.
Right.
You're going to learn just about the studio stuff, how to plan for your show, how to operate the equipment if you're a behind-the-scenes person, how to work with hand cues and countdowns and things like that.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty brief because you're really not going to be unsupervised in the studio. We'll always be there, myself or somebody else from the station.
Right. Exactly.
Chuck or a couple other volunteers we have that are capable of running a show. So, if there's ever any questions, you could just lean over your shoulder and ask.
Exactly.
But the second training session we do is field production. That one is definitely the most complex.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. One, we want to protect our equipment from folks. We want to make sure they know how to use it the right way.
Correct.
And so we show them every little knob and button on the camera to make sure they understand what it does and how to use it. And that can be a little bit intimidating for some folks that are not as technically inclined as others. Okay. But we try to make it as easy as as we can. And we want to also make sure that when somebody takes out a camera into the field, that they know how to use it the right way to get the best result. Right. Because just because the cameras that we use are of a professional grade, right. I mean, they have an automatic setting, but it's not going to come out any better than your iPhone.
No, definitely not.
If you don't do some things like white balance or focus or things like that.
Exactly.
But so it's there is a little bit of a learning curve.
Is there?
And then not terribly hard.
All right.
We're not some of the big networks. Right. We're not you're not expecting the quality that they have from a volunteer. Right. But we try to make it the best we possibly can, and good color, good audio. Audio is always a challenge sometimes. But, definitely. Trying to make the best result. And then our last training session is digital editing. Okay. And that one, we really only scratching the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Digital editing is such a complex task. The programs that we use are very, very complex.
Okay.
So it's not something you're going to pick up in a 2-hour training session. But my goal is to just give folks, just kind of get their feet wet, get a taste of what it is like, understand the concept of digital editing, and what you can do, and basically the basics of how it works. But you're not going to be able to produce a feature film after a 2-hour training session.
No, definitely not.
Not even close.
No. Now, as far as once
down.
you've taken the class and the class is over, what's your next step? That obviously.
Well, once you get the classes done,
yeah,
you are certified to take out equipment.
Right.
Depending if you took the field production class.
Yeah.
And you can take our camera out and record something.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it has to be appropriate for television.
Yeah.
We won't go into all the specifics there. But
no.
I mean, there's certain things that you can't show on TV.
Right.
When we go over that in our training session too.
Right.
So, pending that it's acceptable, you can take out the camera, record what you're trying to record, whether it be a town meeting or document an event in the town. Say, Old Sabre a couple weeks ago had their chili festival, so something like that. There's been segments done on that type of stuff. We recorded Memorial Day Parade.
Yeah.
Up in Higadum, the bicentennial of the British raid on Essex. They had a parade in the center of Essex.
Okay.
Which was pretty neat. We recorded some of that, and with Valley Regional. So lots of things. I like the content that, in my opinion, my favorite stuff is community-based content that brings people together.
Right. And
the other type of content that I failed to mention before was we have a lot of religious content on our station.
That's right.
From church services to religious teachings, I would guess. I'm not with all of the different religions we have on our station,
exactly.
So I want to try to
we
be as politically correct as I can, but
right,
I'm not familiar with them all. But and it's definitely a forum for that too, for freedom of expression.
Now, once you take the class, once you take the equipment out, obviously you come back and you have to edit everything yourself, and
yeah, we don't edit anything for you.
No.
It's all done by you, the volunteer.
Correct.
But we'll help you. We'll hold your hand through the process and make it as enjoyable as we can.
Exactly.
That's our goal, and hopefully you end up with the end product you're looking for.
Exactly, and then you put in a request to do a time slot.
Yep.
And that's pretty.
And you'll air it on TV.
There you go. There you go. It seems pretty
simple.
It does seem pretty simple. So what did you do before you became public access coordinator?
Well, before I worked at VSCTV, I was a production technician at CTN.
Okay.
But before that, I was a college student.
You went to college.
Where'd you go? College. I went to Western New England in Springfield.
Okay.
Now they're Western New England University. When I went there, it was Western New England College.
All right.
The transition, they were big with that. But I enjoyed that. I was actually the manager of the student TV station. And that, to me, was a great experience. It gave me experience working with a group of people, managing a group of people that was also in TV. So,
all right,
producing sports content, the news show. So it's actually that, in my opinion, prepared me very well for the job I have now, because you're working with volunteers.
Right.
So instead of public volunteers that come in of all ages, we were working with student volunteers and managing them, and it's very close in relation because you're working with everybody has a job,
right.
or unless you're retired. But students and a lot of the volunteers we have now, they work certain times during the day. They have other commitments. They have classes.
Right.
So not being an employee of a station, you got to work around people's schedules.
Exactly.
So that was great preparation for me to do the job I do now. I was involved in our college radio station as well. Very similar to this one. This was much nicer than what we had. This is a great station down here. Very impressive, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. It's I'm comfortable going on camera myself.
All right,
which we are now.
I was gonna say,
I'm not thrilled about being on camera, but on the radio, I was much more comfortable as an on-air personality doing college radio than I was on TV.
Exactly.
But from there, I interned with a PBS station up in Springfield.
All right.
WGBY.
Sure.
Was they're the PBS affiliate for Springfield, and that was a lot of fun.
Was it?
That for me was experience that was something you just couldn't get anywhere else.
Right.
Experience with studio production in the field, with editing, and that was really a great experience because people could see what you worked on.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you do something in college and it airs on the closed circuit station to 2,500 students.
Right.
Whereas here it's over the air, it's on cable. It ranges from the New York border all the way out towards Worcester, Hartford, up into Vermont, New Hampshire. That was great. And from there I went to CTN in Hartford.
Yeah.
And that CTN is different than PBS.
Okay.
It's a government station.
Okay.
So they cover the state Senate, the state House of Representatives, and anything else state government related.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great service for the state of Connecticut that not every state has.
Really?
I don't
didn't
believe
know that.
Massachusetts has one.
Wow.
That's similar. And they've been around since 1999.
Okay.
So it's an easy place for people to stay connected with their state government.
It is.
Yeah, and it's that was a fun job. I love the people I work with. I miss them a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have left there if this opportunity didn't arise in Westbrook. But that was a fun job.
Now, as far as public access going down the road, where do you see it going and why?
That's a good question.
Hey,
I don't
thanks.
really have a straight answer for that.
All right.
Public access today, I'm not sure what its future is.
All right.
I hope it's around for a long, long time because
Exactly.
I think it's something that our society needs
Mm-hmm.
as far as public access, public radio, a place where people can voice their opinions and their views
Correct.
freely.
Right.
Obviously without being insulting or anything like that. But, different political views. It's a place where independent candidates can get airtime. It's a place where different things in a community can get promoted and get talked about that might otherwise not be on the air.
Right.
And in today's day and age with the internet, it begs the question, I guess, we have to figure out a way to stay relevant.
Correct.
And I think that's what we're trying to do with VSCTV.
Right.
Is adopt the internet revolution, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and try to stay with as many people watching as we can and as many people involved as we can. But it's so easy these days for somebody to obtain a video camera and post things on YouTube for nothing, really.
Exactly.
So the technology is much more readily available to people that want to use it. But I think public access is almost kind of the same venue as a library.
Okay.
Because not everybody does have access to the internet. Not
Right.
everybody has access to a video camera.
Correct.
But you do have public access.
That's right.
So I think getting more people involved
Mm-hmm.
hopefully will keep us around as long as possible because I think it's a great asset for a community to have.
There you go.
I know there's many states out west that don't have it.
Really?
There's some states have done away with it.
Wow.
And I think that's a mistake. I really do.
Wow.
Not just because I work there, but I think it's a vital piece of local media that wouldn't otherwise may not exist.
Right. Now, as far as your programming goes, is everything shot in-house? Is shot locally, or do you have other shows that are basically sent to you, shot somewhere else?
Both.
All right.
A lot of our stuff is produced locally.
Right.
Your show and
Mhm.
Shoreline Music Monthly are the two that use the studio most often.
Okay.
Destination Durham, the town of Durham, or folks from Durham have a show
Sure.
that's all about their town. It's like a magazine type show, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's really well done. It's very well produced. But we do have shows that come from out of market. other towns. And the way that our station works is very similar to other public access stations.
Okay.
Whereas you need a local sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody from the towns that we cover has to sign off on your show.
Correct.
And that's how it would come in from out of town. So we have a lot of shows like that. I would guess it's probably about 50-50.
Okay.
Roughly.
All right.
I mean, there's a lot that's done in-house, and we have quite a bit that are from out of market, too.
Okay. And again, if people want more information on VSCTV and to get involved, where can they go? Where can they call?
Well, to get more information, you can visit our website, which
Mm-hmm.
is www.vsctv.com.
Okay.
You can give us a call at 860-399-1857. That's 860-399-1857.
You sure about that now?
I'm
huh?
sure about that.
All
I
right.
checked.
Now, as far as the website goes, what types of information can they find on the site?
On our website, you can find our contact information, email address,
Yep.
phone number. You can submit messages to the community bulletin board,
Okay.
which a lot of public access stations have like a rolling scroll of announcements.
Mm-hmm.
And we offer that to folks and events in the 9 towns that we serve.
Okay.
So those that are out of those 9 towns, we feel that it's their public access station's responsibility to help promote that.
Exactly.
So we try to focus on the 9 towns that we reach. And you could also get the forms for filling out and signing up for a show,
Mm-hmm.
our policies and procedures, our hours. You can watch online.
Yes, you can.
There's a live stream of what's on our station,
Mm-hmm.
24/7.
Right.
And some on-demand content. We're limited to what we can host on our website, but there is some of the most recent shows that are locally produced are up there,
I think including me.
including you.
I was going to say, I think
And
so.
some of our users actually take their show and post to YouTube like you do.
Yep.
Shoreline Music Monthly does that.
Mhm.
I think Destination Durham does too. They're on Facebook.
Yep.
So we're just not able to host
No, of course not.
everybody's show online on demand for
Right.
forever.
Right. Exactly.
It's limited hard drive space, so
Yeah.
we do it temporarily.
Exactly. Now, as far as hours of operations go, what are your typically now hours of operation?
Our normal hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 11 to 7.
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, 8 to 4.
Okay.
Those are subject to change only because
Mm-hmm.
there's only one of me. So if we do a show, if we're, say we're broadcasting a basketball game
Right.
or a concert or something at a local school,
Right.
I may have to be outside the office
Exactly.
to set up for that.
Exactly.
So I always say, if somebody's interested, give us a call.
Right.
And if those hours don't work, I'm always flexible to work around people's schedules if I can.
Exactly.
So we don't currently have hours on the weekends,
No.
but I know some stations do. We haven't really had a demand for that. So
Which makes you a happy person.
it does. I like my weekends. I like my Saturday mornings. I know some people have Saturday morning hours. I think Middletown might.
Yeah.
But if those hours don't work, we've worked around people's schedules.
Exactly.
it work.
And you guys are doing pretty well with the station.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's always room for improvement. There's always
Right.
room for more shows.
Mm-hmm.
As of now,
Right.
Our schedule's not totally full.
Exactly.
We've got plenty of open time slots in the early morning hours, but prime time is actually we have pretty full.
Yeah.
With town meetings, with shows like yours and
Mhm.
Mark's, like Shoreline Music Monthly.
Yeah.
But we can always squeeze in more shows.
Exactly. And if people again, when do you normally do a training class, or does it depend on whenever you have enough people to do?
We
training
actually
class?
we actually run training usually every quarter.
'Kay.
Open to the public. We promote it in the local newspapers, radio, and
Mm-hmm.
what have you on our station.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't actually hold people and make them wait for a training session.
Okay.
If we have folks that want to produce something, we don't want that training to be the holdup. So
Mhm.
we'll schedule a special session for them. I usually try to put more than one person at a time, so we can
Right.
not training one person every day. But we won't let that be the holdup.
Okay.
So if somebody's interested, we'll train you as soon as we can.
All right. Well, Chris Morgan from Valley Shore Community Television, thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
Sounds good.